What is up, Addicts? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Triple Money Event Week as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for June 20th through Monday, June 24th, 2024. So only a 5-day event week because of the new Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC releasing on Tuesday the 25th. But anyways, the current prize ride for this week is the Comet S2 Cabrio. It's primarily based on the 992 Porsche 911 Cabriolet and has a normal price of just under 1.8 million. To get it for free this week, you have to place top 5 in an LS Car Meet Series race for 4 days in a row. In regards to performance, it's in the sports class and is an above average performing car in that class, and the main reason for that is due to its poor handling. Now strangely, the Cabrio variant does have a significantly higher top speed than the regular Comet S2 by about 7 miles per hour, so it has a top speed of just under 130 miles per hour, which is great, but again it just suffers in terms of handling. However, the styling and customization is fantastic regardless. I still think it's a great car to own. Continuing to the test ride vehicles for this week, we have the Blade, the Rustin, and the Zaruso as well. And all of these are Remove website vehicles, so definitely make sure to pick them up this week if you don't already own them. And for current gen console users, we have the Vivinite as the HSW test ride vehicle for this week. Continuing to the casino podium vehicle, we have the BF Weevil. It is primarily based on the Type 1 VW Beetle and has a normal price of just under 900,000 and a trade price of about 652,000. In regards to performance, it's in the compacts class and is a mid-tier performing car in that class, but obviously you don't buy this car for the performance, you buy it for the styling and customization, which the Weevil excels at. Plus, the Weevil is the only compact car that can actually pull wheelies. And if you want more customization and speed, you can always upgrade it to the Weevil Custom, which makes it the fastest non-HSW car in the game, not including the bikes of course. In terms of the dealership cars for this week, in luxury autos we have the Turismo Maggio and the Fathom FR36 as well. Continuing to Simeons, we have the Tyrus, the Super Diamond, the Rapid GT Cabrio, the Rap Bike, and the Bodhi as well. And all of these are Remove website vehicles, so definitely make sure to pick them up this week if you don't already own them. Moving on to the discounts, in terms of property discounts, we have 30% off the Salvage Yard business properties, as well as 30% off the upgrades and renovations for them as well. Continuing to the vehicle discounts, before we start, I want to mention that Rockstar is obviously trying to get us to spend our money before the DLC releases on Tuesday, so just wanted to mention that. But with that in mind, starting off on the Legendary Motorsport website, we have 40% off the 300R. This one's of a sports class and is an above average performing car in that class. So not that great performance wise, but the customization on this car is fantastic and the styling as well. I think it's a great looking car. Next up, we have 40% off the Virtue. This car is in the supercar class and offers a Monty Tech. It has great acceleration and handling, making it a nice car to drive. But honestly, there's really not a reason to buy it since you can actually get it for free by completing the first and last dose missions from Dax. Moving along, we have 40% off the Godzilla. This car is in the sports class and is a top 10 performing car in that class around most tracks if we don't factor in HSW. It does suffer a bit in regards to handling, but the customization is great and the styling is pretty good as well. Continuing, we have 40% off the Ignis. This car is in the supercar class and is a top 5 performing car around most tracks, not factoring in HSW. It has fantastic handling, speed, acceleration, and that really cool active aero spoiler. Just a really fun car to drive. Plus it has some pretty good customization. Absolutely love this one. Next up, we have 40% off the Emerus. This is the fastest car in the supercar class for track performance alongside the Krieger, not factoring in HSW. Honestly, at this price, this is actually a great deal on this car. As usual, Rockstar putting out the good stuff on sale right before DLC. Anyways, moving along, we have 40% off the Taipan. This car is in the supercar class and is honestly one of the ugliest supercars in the game, at least to me. The proportions and styling just don't do the Hennessy Venom F5 that it's based on justice at all. Plus it has these slow handling flags, which actually makes it one of the slowest supercars in the entire game. Just absolutely terrible. Continuing, we have 40% off the X80. This one's in the supercar class and is an above average performing car in that class on most tracks due to its fantastic acceleration and speed. However, in regards to handling, this car severely lacks downforce, making it a nightmare to drive on tracks with constant elevation changes as it literally just comes off the ground. causing you to have to slow down a lot more than you normally would on most corners. However, I still like the car because of its styling that's quite striking to look at, and honestly that's why I'd say it's still worth owning. And lastly, for this website, we have 40% off the Tailgater S. This one's in the sedans class and is pretty quick, being in top 5 for performance in that class. It has great customization, being a tuner's DLC car, and it's pretty fun to drive as well. Moving on to the Southern San Andreas website, we have 40% off the Vigero ZX. This one's in the muscle car class and is in top 5 for most tracks, not factoring in HSW. However, with HSW, it makes it the fastest muscle car in that class alongside the HSW convertible variant. The styling of this car is just super realistic and the customization is fantastic as well. One of my favorite muscle cars in the game, and one that I highly recommend acquiring if you don't already own it. And lastly, for the Warstock website, we have 40% off the Weaponized Tampa. This thing has fantastic offensive weapons, especially the upgradable dual minigun, missiles, rear mortars, etc. However, it unfortunately doesn't have any explosive armor resistance at all, making it pretty useless unless you're killing NPCs, because one explosive from a homing missile, a sticky bomb, grenade, anything like that, and you're just dead. Moving along to the gun van, we have the following weapons available this week, and 50% off the vintage pistol as well. Continuing to triple money, we have triple money NRP on drag races, drift races, and select community series jobs as well. In terms of double money, we have double money NRP on salvage yard daily safe income, which really isn't all that great. And lastly, for current gen console users, we have double money NRP on wildlife photography. In regards to the weekly challenge this week, if you win 2 drag races or 2 drift races this week, you'll receive 100,000. Continuing to the weekly vehicle robberies from the Salvage Yard business, again, these only change once per event week. We have the Gangbanger robbery with the Itali GTO, and this one is claimable this week. It normally costs just under 2 million and is the fastest non-HSW car in the class, and it comes with the exclusive LS Panic plate. Definitely don't miss getting this one this week. Also, we have the Duggan robbery with the Sentinel Classic and the cargo ship robbery with the Toros. And to mention, these two are not claimable this week, it is only the Itali GTO. And lastly, for the time trials, this week's normal time trial is Galileo Park. I highly recommend a quick bike for this one. For the premium race, we have the Sports Classics Race 8-figure bonus. I highly recommend the Turismo Classic or Cheetah Classic for this race. And if you're on current gen, I highly recommend using the HSW Sterling GT or the HSW Turismo Classic. And lastly, for current gen console users, the HSW time trial is East Vinewood. As always, the HSW Hakachi Drago were the best one for these. In terms of my vehicle discount pick of the week, I'm going to have to go with the Emerus. It's just a really good deal for the performance this car offers, especially in the current GT Online economy, just a harder one to pass up. Anyways guys, overall this event week I would say is pretty average, about what you would expect right before DLC, although the Salvage Yard claimable vehicle was a bit of a surprise, so I think that bumps it up a little. So with that, I'd give this week a solid 6 out of 10. Anyways guys, thanks again for watching, hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.